you know what time it is. We here, man, yours until you know what time it is, man. We got another dope panel as we continue to open a discussion, man, because that's what we do here. We go talk on a lot of things that's going on in the streets. And today's a dope edition. It's the Legacy and Legend edition, right? So we're definitely going to talk a lot about what's going on in the streets and just, like I said, open the discussion, open your minds, because that's what we do, right? I'm your man, Bigg Vegg. I'm the host of the panel tonight. And big for everybody that's tapping in, make sure you follow the Yours board on Instagram and the YouTube. Just type in Yours and it'll come up Yours, grammar spelled correctly, no bias. Shout out to Big L, because you're on home. You know what I'm saying? But before we get into the discussion, I'm going to let my panelists introduce themselves.
Right, my name is Lyrik, my favorite Bronx. You know, I'm the CEO of the Legal Foods. It's a clothing line. We're going to inspire everybody to be themselves. CEO of Lyrik Business. I got my own production company. And I'm just representing for the females in the youth.
No.
Nice. There you go.
Top Don.
You already know. Peace and love to everybody. I go by Lazaris The Top Don. You already know. Entrepreneur, mogul, owner of Top Don Empire Publishing and Management. Want to give a big shout out, of course, to yours, to Veg, and to everybody here. And, of course, my manager, Queen Universal Nana Management. And, of course, the Hip Hop Boulevard.
There you go. Speaking of Hip Hop Boulevard.
My name is Pizarro. I'm the CEO of Hip Hop Boulevard. Don't get it twisted. That street name didn't just appear.
Hey, how you doing? My name's Natficial Fellowmen for the Bronx, and I represent We Got Work to Do, the collective, and you know, I'm happy to be here. I'm blessed, man. Yeah. Thank you for yours, for having me, and engaging in this conversation. Shout out to my queen, Shaniqua Charles, and a place to be.
There you go. All right.
Shout out to you too, brother, man. Shout out to you too, Bigg Vegg. Yeah. Thank you, man. Thank you.
Already know.
All the panelists.
All right. We're going to keep going? We're going to make sure. All right, so we're going to get this whole thing started. We'll basically bring up a bunch of questions. You guys give y'all honest opinions and y'all, observance of what y'all think. You know what I'm saying? So the first is, what do you think about the way hip-hop artists today are impacting our communities? And what are the positive and negative impacts that you notice from these artists? Ladies first. You represent the ladies, right?
Yeah.
So with that being said, I feel like especially when you want to talk about artists and females doing their thing in the industry, I feel like, I always say this, I'm between a mic stand and a hard place, because if you're not a certain skin complexion, or if you're not a certain body type, they're not bigger than the females that's actually spitters, that's actually, creators. Not saying the ones that are not, body built and they got big behinds or big breasts, that they're not talented, but that's all the media wants us to see. They're not looking at the Lauryn Hills.
So that's being pushed.
Yeah, you know what I mean? They're not looking at the Lauryn Hills of 2022. They're not looking at, the Erykah Badu of 2022. They're looking at the Lil Kim. They're looking at that, and that's cool, but I don't feel like they're pushing the right, image. They're not pushing the image for women to be embracing. They don't have weave, or they don't have this, like, a man is not going to want them, or this is not, I feel like now they should be more uplifting to each other, you know what I'm saying? As far as the females in hip-hop, like the females in hip-hop should be able to, do a song that makes women feel good, and not always make them feel like they have
to be themselves.
You know what I'm saying? Like, be yourself. So I feel like we need a lot more of that. We need a lot more of Missy Elliott's and MC Lights and Queen Latifah's to come back and really just like show the way. You know what I mean? Like Queen Latifah's for real.
Still a fan. It's a fact. Yeah.
We need that. We don't have that now. Everybody's in competition, and even the females that are on, like Nicki Minaj and Cardi B and Gorilla. Shout out to Gorilla Glow. You know what I mean? They're not embracing her. They're not empowering her. You have one person here and one person there. The females are showing, they're showing even the people that are not famous, like, you gotta beat for her because she's not good. You gotta beat for her because she's not light-skinned. You know what I'm saying? That's nobody in the industry, female-wise, even the men, they're embracing it. They love the girls like, you know what I mean? Like, they love that competition, so I don't feel like nobody's embracing to be themselves as women and really just have that structure behind the hip-hop where it started.
It is. Top Don, talk to me.
One time, I would like to hear the question stated again, Mr. Vegg. Thank you.
So the question is, what do you think about the way hip-hop artists today are in communities, and what are the
first off, if we're going to touch bases on that, you know, it's 50-50 on both, to be honest. Why? Because right now, if you look at today's new generation, everything that's coming in is all this drill and violent kind of music at the end that is actually not pushing the culture forward and is actually leading some of our inner city children and our basically youth to think that it's okay to be violent in hip hop. I always explain to people at the end of the day that hip hop doesn't kill people. People kill people. All right, and the influence that we're putting out right now and that the New York City airwaves are promoting right now makes it seem like you need to deteriorate, all right, and not uplift what you're actually supposed to uplift with this culture. A lot of people seem to forget that this is a beautiful hip hop culture and art form. And remember that it comes in many different genres and many different forms of this subject, all right, that's leading to this hip hop form. Now, the other 50%, I would say, of course, you know, you have those that are really uplifting the culture. You have the pioneers that are still trying to give back and give everything and give influence, but it's hard to give an influence when you have certain gatekeepers and certain people that stop things from pushing forward. All right, and what I mean by that, the complexity of your skin color, you and your nationality, where you come from, whether you have actual money or suitable to do it. What happens is in the hip hop culture is that they're looking more for views and looking more for what can be brought than actual talent. Now, the culture within itself is changing. Why? Because every time and every millennium that passes, we reiterate and recreate the strategy of music. Music changes and forms on all levels and all playing fields of existence. So what happens is we're back at a stage in the hip hop culture and form where you have to be able to really rap again. No disrespect to the people that make gimmicks and do it. You have ghostwriters, you have many different people, but you actually have to have a statement and make sense in your songs now and the curriculum you're given for hip hop. Meaning, the song has to have a meaning. Don't just make a song called substance and content. And what I mean by the content, I mean the content that's understandable. Because some people make songs that just make you dance, but it has no meaning to the song. I come from an era in time where songs meant something. LL Cool J, I Need Love, you know, it was because we really needed love. You understand, if KRS-One was talking about he was the teacher to educate and influence the actual youth and teach the other artists, then that's what we were doing. So I feel that hip hop is in a 50-50 state. Yes, it can be uplifted back towards the culture, but we still need to get rid of some of the deterioration that I see.
Yeah, that's true.
We created these monsters. Not for nothing, but when the pioneers started, there was no visual. Okay? It was about the music that they were producing on beats. And there was no MTV at the time. There was nothing for them to see anything. So physical, it was like I'm performing and the audience is giving me that response to my performance. These kids, when they flipped it, they said, yo, we got YouTube, we got all this access, we can hit millions of people and all that stuff, we can do what we want, and we know what we want. There was a disconnect between the pioneers and the young for a while, because there was no each one teach one. We used to have those Jack the Rapper conventions and all these conventions that used to teach us, and I mean literally vice presidents and presidents of different corporations used to come and sit and talk to you and teach you, yo, this is how you should go. This is the direction you should go. If you need to talk to me, talk to me. Where is that? That's gone. That doesn't happen anymore. So we had a decade or two of that happening, and these kids just went and say, yo, I can do this thing on my own. Hey, get the phone. Here, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do and everything. And they got their group together, all their kids, all their friends, their school, their community, and they build up and blossom, and bam, what happened? Labels will go in and say, no, let's give them a deal. You know, look, they got 200,000 views. They got 500,000 views. Because the labels themselves didn't understand what was going on. So we created this problem, right? They have access to the world through the internet, and they're able to speak volumes. So you hear about the drill music, you hear about all this stuff, they're speaking volume to many people. You don't have to get everybody to agree. You just have to get some people to agree. And the more people in the room, the more people you get to agree. So if you're asking billions of people, guess what? You're gonna get a lot of people agreeing. So there's an issue in hip hop, and I've been seeing it and watching. That's why I created Hip Hop Boulevard, because there has to be leadership, there has to be a stand, you have to stand up for something, and you have to lead with that example. You can't talk about it. That's why I'm here.
What was the question again, Bigg Vegg?
Question again.
I'm sorry.
No, it's cool, it's cool. That's why I'm here. So I can read the questions. It's cool. The game show. What do you think about the way hip-hop artists today are impacting our communities, and what are the positive and negative impacts that you also notice with these artists?
I think it's just an evolution with everything. You know, I think you just got to get with the times. It's like an evolution with everything. Like, you know, I was saying every 10 years it changes. And I agree with Lonnie Lyrik was saying about there's no unity. But sometimes you just got to get with the times a little bit. Not, you know, I ain't going down the young, you know, the young brothers and sisters, but sometimes you just got to get with the times. But, you know, one thing with me, I can't get with the you know, when they talk about drugs and all of that, drinking and all of this other stuff, I can't get with it. That's something I can't do. But but I can, you know, get with the times. You know what I'm saying? Not with the drill. You know what I'm saying? But certain things, I can, you know what I mean? I could get. I mess with some of the, you know, they you know, there's some of the stuff. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But I can't get with the, you know, kidnap your grandmother and all of that other stuff. And I can't do it. I can't do it. You know what I'm saying? But some of it is crazy. Some of it is, you know, just got to be careful what we listening to, because it could be detrimental to your ears. And then what it is the spirits is taking over the young folks, I think, too. And then number two, I think there's a life, you know, these labels put out a life insurance policy on rappers. That's why you have so many rappers dying, because they getting paid. Yeah. So we just got to keep our eyes open and just, yeah, man.
Speaking of, you know, because we're going to touch on mental health. Do you guys think mental health, substance use plays a part in the way hip-hop music is going? Of course.
I absolutely do think it has a big effect. Like, let's be real, we all come from an era where marijuana was a thing, but now you got young kids doing pills and sipping this and sipping that, and they have no idea what's going on because they're trying to drown, you know, our traumas. And now the older people feel like, oh, they not problem, they are our kids. Nobody's really taking the time to really like.
Especially these labels.
Yeah, the labels, they put it in front of you. Yeah. I've been there. I've been around different labels. I had different people come around me and put me in a certain position, and everything around me was women. Half dressed and drugs and this and that pill and that pill, and you know, nobody's really talking about how it changes in your effect, how it makes you feel, and how it mentally drains you, you know what I'm saying? So you're wrapped in that, feeling like you have to do that, and you have to do this to fit in, but also you're trying to, you know, drown your trauma and deal with different things so that you can experience it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's a big thing. I don't judge nobody for how they cope, but I feel like there's a lot of things in hip-hop in general, in the media, where they need to just take the back on that and try to get a lot more help or put these resources for and kind of like come down to the drug thing. You know what I'm saying? I also know there's a lot of artists that suffer from drugs in the industry that we embrace, we uplifted, but no one got the problem, nobody like, you know, stuck on the problem. You know what I mean? Everybody is pushing on that stuff again, but nobody's like, how can we help them not feel that? Right. That been happening for years, and we just, you know, we normalize it a lot in the generation. Yeah, you know, like this artist dies from drugs, but nobody in the community talk about the people who died from drugs. So it's just normalized, and I feel like it's something that needs to be done.
Wow, one of the biggest and toughest subjects that we could possibly speak about when it comes to hip hop and mental health. A lot of people don't realize that we have so many things going on within our communities, things going in within the actual artists' lives. People forget that this is an actual, you know, image and a facade that you have to be able to maintain, and a lot of people internally to proclaim, to be able to have a status, to be cool. And what I actually look at and see to myself as a master of ceremony, I love being a master of ceremony. Why? For two reasons. Number one, there's plenty of mental health problems and things that we face as human beings and individuals by ourselves. One thing I learned to do at a young age, at 15 years old, I learned how to channel all my feelings and all the mental health problems I have and channel it through my music. All right, and this is something that I advocate towards kids to be able to do. All right, because music is a form of energy. So I explain to people sometimes, you know, from an expression point of view, there might be a time where, and put yourself back in that place when you was that youth and you might not feel comfortable talking to anybody, or you might not feel comfortable talking to mom or dad, or you might not feel comfortable talking to your boys because you're busy worried about how they're going to look at you and view you in an image. And what happened was, at a time, I remember there were times where you would have different empowerment groups that would do so, all right? And then it strayed away a little bit where it stopped for the empowerment groups for mental health. All right, why? Because COVID hit, a lot of things started happening, but I don't want to hear that excuse. There's a lot of resources out here right now, and a lot of people right now that are providing for you to be able to talk to. Look, the organization that we on yours, we're speaking about things that go on the street corners, empowering the youth, teaching them how things can go. So I feel like it's where you're at in your mind and the people that are around you, all right? Because when you're influenced easily, then it's easily to influence you to go into a wrong direction, but it's harder to be able to speak about your own mental health problems or things that are going on internally in your home or what might be going on, because all people see is what we put outside, all right? And then remember that while you're trying to protect this image and viewing outside, you're still caging in what you originally feel. And the mind is something that is your temple. So when you keep something in your temple, in your chambers, the mind is still circulating, but you've never released at the end of the day what you really feel. So one of the things that I try to project to people, and I'm not just saying it to say it, project how you feel. Find a place, a time where you can actually say to yourself, what's bothering me mentally? You might have made music, but your life might not be together. So you have to make sure that the combined elements are there. That's my first advice. My second advice is to find what I call your safe place, your honing place. There's someone always in this planet, in this form of existence and life that we call, that you might feel comfortable with and you might not notice it. I found mine within my queen, universal queen Nena. You know, sometimes, running an organization, running people, going through things, it becomes hectic, all right? And becoming hectic, remember that, becoming a mogul or entrepreneur or trying to become the superstar celebrity that you're trying to be, some people don't see your vision, so it gets you mentally frustrated. You have to find someone that can meet you at that borderline or find a time and space where you can, project out what you're thinking so that way you feel better as a person.
Yeah.
Talk to me about mental health. How do you take on it with hip hop?
Well, I know the question well. I know the question well. Look, God bless me. I'm clean and sober 22 years now.
Wow.
Time for that. And when God opened up my eyes and said, do you want to address and do things at the full capacity, or do you want to do it half or 1/3? I said full capacity. Absolutely. So why are you self-medicating yourself? Because that's what it is. You self-medicate yourself. You drink, you're self-medicate. You puffing, you're doing anything, sniffing, you're self-medicating yourself. Could be pressure, could be the guys, the girls that you're with, could be you feel like, I need to get high in order for me to feel good about myself. Could be any of those items. And it could be just the fact that you just want to fit in. Plenty of times you're with a group of people, everybody getting high, let me get high too.
Right.
Isn't that a mental problem?
Yeah.
The fact that you are giving into a substance because of your surrounding or people around you. We've had a problem for a long time.
Yep.
Come on, we were getting high. We were getting high at 12, 11, 13. I mean, I know I was. So this is the issue that's been in hip hop for a long time. But let's expand on that. So now we do videos and we're rocking with the champagne, right? The Hennessy, the girls popping bottles, throwing the money out. Come on, we're amplifying that. So what do you think was going to happen when we did that? Anything that you hear, anything that you see, all right, goes right here. Goes right here. And once it goes in here, believe me, it's going in there and it's marinated in your mind. It just, you don't see something. That's why I'm careful about what I see and about what I say. Because if you could start wars with words, imagine what you could do in hip hop. And that's what happens. We have people that got shot, people that were murdered. We got people that were murdered and we don't even know who killed them. All right, words. We had that whole East Coast, West Coast stuff. Mental problem? Hell yeah, there's a mental problem. Then you lock us up for 2 years, and then our mothers die, our brothers die, our sisters die, and we can't bury them, we can't do any of that stuff.
Can't talk to nobody.
That's added to the problem we had already. There's a state in hip hop that everybody needs to address and understand. I said it before, we created this. It's not something that we're unaware of. We just not taking responsibility for creating what's happening today.
Right. Word. I hear that. Nate?
Well, yeah, I'm a living testimony. When I was incarcerated, I was younger, and I wanted to, commit suicide. What kept me alive? What kept me alive? Writing, and writing in prison, it kept me alive.
How young were you?
I was like 16. I was 15 going on 16.
Okay.
And I was in solitary confinement for 2 years.
Teenage years.
Teenage years, so imagine that. I don't think you can imagine that. A 16-year-old facing 24 months, 36 months in solitary confinement. In a bathroom, imagine the bathroom. 24 months. So what kept me alive with that, I can identify with that. What kept me alive was just this writing, and it just kept me alive. And reading, it kept me alive so I could identify with the mental health. There's a lot that going on. Like for instance, for example, you got Kanye West. Years ago they was giving him opioids. I think that what that did to Kanye West was it deteriorated his creative process.
Right.
That's why the way he is now. We can't bash him. We just gotta pray for that brother. Right, that too. Right,
You know what I'm
right.
saying? Like, the industry.
The industry
But
too.
yes.
Yeah, I think
You can add that on.
the creative process. Right, yeah. Right. So it's this creative process with me. Like I just write. That's what keeps me sane, and you know what I'm saying. My
Can I
lady.
say something? To piggyback off what y'all both said, which I feel like was really important things is, how people like glorify videos and being in there with the drugs, but also what you came from, what you said about medication, like being somebody who suffers from mental illness. Society automatically gonna give you a medication and tell you don't talk about it.
Yeah.
Especially in the urban communities, in our community, in our homes, we're not allowed to talk about that. So, we talk about being depressed or having too much anxiety. We're crazy. So then when we do get arrested or we do go into the system, in the justice system, it's different. It's a lot different. I tell people about that all the time. For me, I didn't get an opportunity to be around other people, and I didn't go to Rikers Island. I had to go to a different situation where I was like, what's this? You know what I'm saying? Or because of a piece of paper that has a label on my name that says I have a mental illness. Nobody really took the time out to hear, to hear me and, find out what could help me. And then when I did, come back out in society, be around people, I was introduced to drugs. This is gonna make you feel better. Nobody talks about when, drugs and drinking and celebrities did it a lot of times for celebration. They already feel good, so that's cool. We can celebrate, but nobody's talking about that part where it's put it back into the community to have us, just out of our minds already and just keep going on a cycle.
Right,
and,
I'm sorry.
Stuff like that.
You're right.
But
now,
that was important.
Now if you look at, you got all of these smoke shops now. Where the hell they came from?
They glorifying.
You see what I'm
for you to
saying?
get high.
So these are the things that, and then now, I don't know if you heard about it, but they had, there was a guy, he died from, he had bought some weed and then it was laced with fentanyl.
Fentanyl, yes.
So, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know what's going on with this smoke shops around these areas.
They couldn't
It's
kill
just a
us
lot,
behind the
you know what I'm
drugs.
saying?
So
Yeah,
the people
there's a
that they
lot
locked
going
up in jail for having drugs, and I feel like they couldn't keep us in there. So what they did was put these in the hood.
Right.
Cause they're gonna go buy the weed and then they're gonna kill themselves all by getting high off of laced weed.
Right.
Where K2 went out of nowhere.
That's their agenda.
You think about it, you know what I'm saying? So that's
a fact,
that's
To
absolutely
piggyback off of all of them, right, it's kind of exactly what Al said. We're self-medicating ourselves, we're doing everything, we're glorifying, we're amping everything up, right? But remember, when we get put in them same exact situations, remember that we kind of lose track a little bit. Why? Because you're busy trying to be able to push forward, right? To do so, but at the end of the day, you're still falling in line and subject with everyone else. I know because I'm one of the people that could tell you, I drunk to a point where, I put a hole in my own stomach. I had my best friend tell me I was gonna catch liquor poison. I had kidney stones, and we went through that and be able to change myself completely as a person. So away from the mental illness, we have to practice the mental toughness, all right? Because remember, to be aware is to be alive, right? But to be able to counteract is the best strike that you can have. So remember, if you don't pick yourself up from the dirt, you're not gonna be found. Because look, I wouldn't be here on the camera talking to you now if I didn't heal, if I didn't say to myself, and you test yourself. You see things, you put yourself in the room, and see, can you actually do what I was talking about? Can you actually be able to step up and say to yourself, you know what, I don't want to be part of that group. No, don't judge me and put me in that. Can I be able to stop doing this and be able to think of a different form and way to act as a person and be able to still keep myself aware? That's something that's very, very hard to do. Easier said than done. Why? Because you get put in situations that make you want to choose the easy route.
Right.
Always remember that.
Yeah.
And that's something that I've never forgotten, you know, even to this day. So I support on what he says there. He's right. It's something that we created. So now we must come up with the solution on how to fix that.
Right, I agree. I agree.
Speaking of mental health, we're going to get into these, because we talked about labels earlier, right? So,
Yes. Some people feel that music labels and radio stations are promoting hip-hop music that do nothing but glorify violence. So the question is, what can artists do to change their messaging, to change the message to save lives?
I first off want to say, like, I hate when they justify the whole sex and violence and this and that just on hip hop. It's in the media. It's everywhere. It's on television. It's everywhere. It's not just hip hop. I cannot keep blaming hip hop on the reason.
Most effective.
Yeah, you know what I
Devil
mean.
in
You
the
got all
America.
like I always say, like I'm a part of the LGBT community, but I don't like the way that they put it out so much, like too easily for the it's just too much now.
Right,
you know what I
right,
mean?
right.
Like I'm happy that there is a platform and it's a way, and you know, and people in my own community get mad at me like, how can you say that we fought for this? Yeah, we fought for slavery too. So you know what I mean? Like it's just all about certain things. But when you want to speak on, you know, how can we change? Like I'm an artist. I'm an artist for the young people. I'm outside. I do all kinds of different events, you know, and I'm in events where there might be a couple of strippers in this event, there might be a couple of, you know, politicians in this event, but as long as I'm speaking on what I'm speaking for and I'm standing on what I stand for, my music and what I create, I feel like you have to be able to set up some kind of structure and purpose on what you're speaking on. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're rapping about whatever you're rapping about, just live by it. You can't talk about, you know, the violence of the world. We came up from legends like Tupac. We came up from legends like DMX. And they talk.
Biggie.
You know, Biggie. And you had different people in that form back in the day who talked how they talked. They didn't even blur no curse words out back then if you think about it. And when we had certain artists talking, they talk. You know what I'm saying? Slick Rick told stories, but he was talking stuff like talking, but we long world. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about the message and your perspective and how you put it out there and project your energy into the world, because you could, like, you know, I feel like Pop Smoke was somebody that had a loud voice and said what he said, but he did a lot for his community. He spoke about how to, you know, R.I.P. Pop Smoke. He taught people how to just be themselves too. As long as you speak in some kind of substance and sending a message in a positive way and carrying yourself that way, I don't really feel like, you know, you have to stop being...
You're penalized for...
Penalized for it. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of the artists that are out now, they need to do more things for the community and just show people how to feel good and be themselves and have that inspiration to influence and inspire people. And not just say something and then, like, they're not doing nothing for the community. Nobody's making it and coming back and opening schools or after-school programs or leading the community with any kind of resources to help us. So when we get in the industry, we not drugged out or passed out somewhere because nobody's really telling us in the music what we supposed to be, how we should really, you know what I mean? Like the message, So I feel like as long as you're that artist that's putting out there, like you speak about putting you write music based on how you feel, and if you feel this way, you write that. That's what I want people to feel when they feel my music. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like a lot of artists should definitely do that more. Put out the same energy you give out is what you're going to receive, and the more that you're receiving it, you put it back out into the you know world.
Into the energy, into the universe.
Yeah, I think that's the basic of it, and not try to be somebody else in the industry. And I'm not talking about like financially and just making it and coming back to the hood and throwing some money off a card. No, I'm talking about actually put into the homes, put into the community somewhere. Go to a church, go to, you know what I'm saying? Go somewhere where, you know, like this is here. I've been living in Harlem for a long time. I haven't heard of street corners until like a few, maybe 6-7 years ago when I started working with cases programs. You know what I'm saying? And they didn't provide this for us. They didn't want us to know about these kinds of places. They wanted us to go and kill a guy up the block because that's what the song said and blame it on. You know what I'm saying? Like the song said, kill your ops. They didn't say go find help and try to make peace with your ops. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's really something that the hip hop community needs to do. Like do better at, but not blame us for the reason that there's sex and drugs.
Right.
Like,
You need to change that narrative.
no, everything on my timeline is sex and drugs, and it's not necessarily hip hop. You know, you got people doing memes, you got kids doing memes and skits, and it's on TikTok. It's everywhere. It's not just hip hop. It's been going on before hip hop. It was in disco. So let's talk about it.
Yeah, that's a fact. For me, this is where the level up changes a little bit, Rockarazi. And for me, you know, we're not here to play. I'm not going to sit here and be the advocate. Why are we sitting here acting like we don't glorify the violence on every form and level in life? All right, hip hop.
Not even just hip hop.
Not even just hip hop. Not even just hip hop. Movies. We're talking about influence that you see right now. Bullying, hustling, trying to be in the trap, trying to do this, trying to project and portray an image that we don't really know. But the main portion that we forget is that this violence that we're spreading amongst each other as Black and Latinos and Afro-Americans, all right, being here, is that these people have made a corporate structure and learned how to make us their form of TV.
Right.
Okay, because at the end,
That's it.
I'll show you, it'll be happening right now. It could be we're in a positive situation right now, a fight outbreaks out there. A person is quick to pick up their phone and go to TikTok and go to Instagram before actually trying to help or stop or alleviate the fight or the violence. We sit here, we come here and we talk about, you know, not condoning violence and doing so. But as soon as we're away from the public eye, we're back in condoning the violence ourselves. You understand? From even our community leaders, even our president that's trying to lead us to go to war, even to companies and organizations right now trying to fight and baffle amongst each other. And like Lyrik said earlier, you know, there's no unity. So it's not only just in hip hop there's no unity. We don't have unity as people. I'll give you a prime example, and I don't mean to say it this way, right? Y'all see my skin color? That means I'm a Black and African American man. For all you Latinos that don't know, please get educated and learn your things and learn where we come from.
Thank you.
Okay, that's number one.
Thank you.
Number two, right? I just want to show y'all an example, and I'm talking as Lazarus. I want you to show me two Jewish rabbis, right, that you will see on the corner fight amongst each other for any reason. I've not seen it yet, all right? And it's not about just speaking about ethnic background, ethnicity, or any of that, but it's because they have done something that we haven't done. And that is called level up within society amongst each other. They're not worried about an ego, they're worried about empowering one another. You might see it right now where, okay, I've seen it because I've been in Brooklyn and I'm from the Bronx, but I represent everywhere. You know, for me, I love all the boroughs. I'm a New Yorker. Get that right. All right, so the reason I say that is because, right, I live in the Bronx, and where I live at in the Bronx, right, I won't name the organizations because I don't want to baffle them, but I know two community leaders, right, that basically argue amongst each other, and we come from the same place, you understand me? And worried about, oh no, because I'm a bigger community leader and I do this. Instead of saying, well, let's get with one another and put employment, let's get each other with this. I don't care if your hair is nicer than mine, or you taller, or your pockets are thicker, none of that matters. You see, when it comes to me, they get a little scared because I'm blatant. I'm very aggressive and will tell you straight up, if you're not coming at me with positive energy to push forward in this violence, then you need to deteriorate away from
Don't
me.
want it.
All right, I don't want it.
Don't want it.
You know, if you know the story of Lazarus, you know, I was brought back by Jesus Christ to help and heal. That's why we're here to heal, right? So there's a lot of times, and I'm telling you, because I'm a very nice guy, and I'm a guy that is very official. I'll say it like that, okay? And no matter what situations I'm in, I have taken myself where I've seen like, wow, this person has made me angry. Let me walk away and deteriorate from that and not worry about what we call the cockfight. And why I say the cockfight is because your mind starts to play on yourself and say, well, this person is trying to play me. And I need to prove to them blatantly that I'm tougher. No, I don't prove that I'm tougher that way. I get tougher by helping my community, by getting with my organizations, by helping the youth and telling them, look, I come from a place where people were scared to walk through. All right, I'm from 163rd Street and Simpson Street. All right, if you don't know, you could look at the kill rate and body count that goes on there right now. It is not very nice.
Not to glorify.
All right, not to glorify.
Just saying.
This is to say it.
We just saying.
And I'm saying this,
Right.
I had to learn how to be able to empower and be friends with everyone in my community, from the police officers to regular people that are there to the regular people that are just hanging out and trying to, you know, hustle and survive and sell for their family and to make it out. And the one thing that I learned from myself, right, I can't go and speak about something if I'm not practicing it myself. So I started within myself to show people I'm not here for violence. I'm here to push everything I can forward. I will stop any situation that you might see me around, and I've been around some of the toughest guys. Shout out to Pistol Pete, all my other family, everybody from Terror Squad, everybody that I've been around, and I noticed that everybody is on the same kind of mind state. You know, they don't want people to go through what they went through when they were younger. So now that's the image that you'll see me from me now. Let's just stop portraying the violence because it started within us.
Label and radio stations, two different things. A label wants to be able to sell units. A radio station wants listeners. Two different worlds, and an artist, they want to be famous and make money.
Right. And live a
So, and this is the issue. This is the problem. The label is always going to look for the talent. There used to be A&Rs that used to go look for the talent, but now the labels can sit in front of their computer and look at YouTube and check on somebody and say, wow, they got 1 million views on there. Let me hear their song. Let me see how many songs they got. Wow, this, that. We could pick. The work ethic is gone from there. Now the artist who wants to, let's say, be different, it's hard to be different when you're a bunch of people all going the same road. It's like a wave of people just walking in one direction and you're going the opposite direction.
That one person.
That one person. So it's a difficult path. I went through an award show, Kingdom Choice Awards, all gospel hip hop. Now me, I'm thinking, okay, I may see 1 or 2 artists here. You know, I may sit through here, you know, after 10 minutes, 15 minutes in it, I may be bored. And I tell you one thing, each artist brought it, and they'll give a run of the money to any artist that's out here right now. Gospel. Right. Holy hip hop, Christian hip hop, whatever you want to say. Whatever you want to say, whatever you want to call it.
Holy
The whole point is that their lyrics, their music, their performance was banging. And for that to impress me, because I'm the guy who used to work for Death Row. I'm the guy who used to work for A&M Priority, all them hip hop labels that you know about. I was that guy that put it out there. I got over 50 plaques, gold plaques, platinum plaques, Eminem, everybody. So I've done that stuff. These artists that want to change, you're gonna have to go and just stick to your gun and change. Change. Stay focused on what you're gonna do if you wanna change. A lot of artists, they perform and they're not cursing, they're not doing any of that stuff, and they become successful. But it's because they stood on that path. They did not stop. Record labels are only gonna pick you up if you have the numbers. You can't get the numbers if you're not on your grind.
Numbers game.
It's a numbers game. And the radio stations are not, look, the radio station, they have a team of people that go out there and find out what's in it. They got DJs that play on these stations, they do mix shows. But understand that the DJs can only inform them in a meeting that they probably do once a week on what's happening. And when they go and they say, hey, yo, this record is happening, this track is happening, they go and they do their research and go and check out how the video doing, how the download's doing, and all that. And if that's not going on, it is not going to be put on the radio station. I don't care how good the DJ is. This is just the facts. And think about it, when you listen to a radio station, don't you always hear like the same records being played over and over again? You say, man, when are they gonna play some new joints? And it's because they only got, but let's say 50 slots, because a radio station was not developed to play music. A radio station was developed to talk. That's what radio station came from, talking. The music was the filler. So now it flipped. Now they're saying we're going to put the music out there and we get more listeners. So guess what? If something works, they're going to keep playing it. Now you put, let's say, 100 labels with one artist apiece, fighting for 50 slots. 50 slots. They're going to be going in there. You're going to play my record this week? You're going to play my record this week? You're going to play my record this week? Somebody got to come out for somebody to go in. Radio stations don't do that unless all the T's are crossed. So you have to do that. It is a grind. You got to grind. You got to work hard. But if you're going to say, I'm not going to curse, I'm not going to do TNA on my videos, I'm not going to do all that stuff, then stick to it. Don't wimp out. Keep it focused. Keep doing it. Build your game. Don't buy your downloads and buy visitors and all that stuff. We know the whole game. We know you put out the money and say, yeah, I got 50,000 followers. You pay for that. We know the whole game. So does the label. All right? So do your hard work. Put some work into it. And watch the results. Because the label is not going to pick you up unless they see the number. And it's a pity because the labels don't do the work. They don't do the homework. They just wait. The numbers are big. We want this guy. Doesn't happen like it used to before. Where is the work? They're not out there. You see, when's the last time you saw a label in a club? When's the last time you saw an A&R and said, yo, I saw this guy perform, he was hot. You know, we should sign him to the label. They don't even want to take a chance on their job. And they said, yeah, this guy got 1 million views. Yeah, this guy should be good.
That's true, yeah. What was the question again? I'm sorry.
The question was, some people feel that music labels and radio stations are promoting nothing but hip-hop violence, right? So what can artists do, to basically change the message in their music to say violence?
Wow, yeah, well, it starts with the record labels. I think, me personally, I don't want to be signed. I just rather be independent and just do my own thing because, when you sign, I think with some of these artists, I don't want to get too crazy up here, but I'm just gonna speak my.
Get crazy, man.
Speak your truth.
Right, you got doors you got to go through, to become famous. If you don't know those doors.
Crazy doors.
You know what I'm saying? So, and Natficial's not doing that. Natficial's not doing it. So I'd rather be it and let God use me as a vessel to spread out my word of gospel. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And also keep in mind, y'all, like, we live in an era where, the internet is what it is, so you can use your own platform.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Will it take longer? Of course, because you have to build from the ground up.
Exactly.
But you can build your own show, you can build your own podcast, you can make your own radio station. Like nowadays, you don't have to go follow the system.
Right. Nice.
You can make your own system.
Facts.
Just saying,
All the facts.
2022, right? I don't know, I'm just saying. We're going to keep this going. Okay, so in your opinion, right, if the old school rap artists, trap artists, and drill artists pull together and come together, could that be the end to the violence that we see in our communities?
Yep. Yes. I definitely agree.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like it'll make a really big impact. I hear a lot of like the OGs and the legends and the older rappers always say like, oh, these young kids ain't listening to us. They don't want to hear what we got to say, and it's really about the approach.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like if y'all taking the initiative to really try to, take as much restraint off us as young people and take that initiative to say, yo, we're gonna come together. We're gonna come, because they keep blaming drill. Drill is just a beat. It's not. It's what you saying in drill. I do drill songs and we go up.
Approach with love.
It's how you approach it, and it's all about everybody it's about being unified. So yeah, if the drill rappers come together with the old, real lyricists and the Jadakisses and the Nas and those people, absolutely, it could definitely make a huge impact on not just the generation now, but the future generation. We forget about the future. A lot of the kids now that are listening to the music, that are watching the TVs and in the media, those are our futures. Those are the future of our generation and the future of our world. So we have to be able to teach them and lead them now. So if they see us do something that's so grand, they're gonna be young kids and be like, remember when this happened? We should do this so that way we can have this. You know what I mean? Like, you want to be, kids look at everything. They're like sponges. So yeah, if they watch us do something that could be so grand and legendary, I feel like that'll save a lot of things, not just hip hop. It'll save us, like you said, as people.
Right.
Because as people, all coaches listen to hip hop. I don't care how many people say they don't. I know them judges and them DAs come back in there and be on some, you know what I mean? They in there, they home. They home and they listening to what because our message is real and it's raw and we speak value. So yeah, absolutely. We come together, it could change a lot.
I think you're right.
For me,
Unity.
right now, it's not like we're not trying to come together. To tell you the honest truth, I see a lot of OGs right now that are trying to pull the hip hop community together, and then you have OGs that are not putting the hip hop community together. All right. And the reason I say that is because people forget what an actual OG is. Okay. An OG is not a gangster. Is not someone that's going to come and deteriorate or shoot at police or do any of these other things. A gangster is someone that's going to actually uplift you. People forget this. A gentleman that was a gangster back in the day held the door for a woman, actually had, you know, respect and morals. And actually had dignity and self-awareness. Now, right now, I don't know what goes on, but you know, the OGs that I see now don't even practice what they preach. So how can you be an OG if you don't practice what you preach and you're not giving something positive towards everybody else to be able to follow? You know, while I was coming up, the OGs, we feared them, but we didn't fear them because they were scared. We feared them because we wasn't doing the right thing. They was coming to G-check you and coming to check where you at. And
as they should.
At this time and day and age, I'm talking like 1998, 1999, you know, and this is when your parents knew each other's parents. All right, and when they actually
Neighbors
used to
went
go,
along,
neighbors went along and stopped everything, and instead of resorting to violence, they were going to say, well, I'm going to tell your mom that I seen you doing this.
Right.
You understand? Then we got.
And you don't want that.
You don't want that. You know, it was like real
That's
serious.
a whooping for you.
That was a
You know
whooping
what I
for
mean?
you. Yeah, I mean, it was like if you were friends and you were doing something wrong, they would tell you like, hey, Laz, we heard your mom calling you out the window. You know what I mean? So now it's a little bit different. You'll hear an OG, and you know, we freeze up and we get into this violent mode like, oh, back up, you can't tell me nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, who you? And I feel that the connection from the youth and the OGs have deteriorated a little bit. You know, you need to have a lot more respect for the founding fathers and for women that started before us because they've been on the planet longer. They've been seeing things that's been going on.
They paved the way for us.
You know, they paved the way for us. So for me, I look at it in two forms. My question is really for them is, do you feel that the OGs are doing enough? And do you feel that the youth is connecting and embracing them with open arms first? Because we can sit here and say that they should be doing this and that message should be spreaded, but if it's not received properly, then what happens is all you do is have more catastrophe, more pandemonium, more people saying, well, why do you think you could tell me what to do just because Al might be older than me? And in my mindset, I might say, well, I'm a young OG and I hold myself now and I don't need to listen to you. There is no court in the middle.
That's the disconnect.
Debate, and that's the disconnect. For me, I think on a different level of playing field in existence. You know, I'm around OGs my whole life. I'm a young OG myself, you know what I mean? Shout out to my brother Mo Knowledge. He's one of the OGs that, you know, have coached me, and that's my brother on a different level, even away from what we do. Sometimes you could come around brothers, and we have similar brothers, and he'll tell you, the way I think might not be my way my other brother thinks, but it doesn't. What I love about him, right, and he's taught me this, is that it doesn't change you from the message that you're still trying to give that we needed to originally do, and that was to be unified. But unity, right, is something that will cause, you know, different thoughts and process for you to disconnect. That's why I said that, because, you know, you have many organizations, you have people that come together, but the main thing that stops us is the word I'm gonna give you, and that is called ego. All right, and we have to put our egos aside to be able to listen, because remember, if my ego is so high, I wouldn't be able to hear or be receptive to his message or Al's message or anybody here. You understand? Because I might feel, well, you know what, I'm older than all these guys here. I don't need to listen to them. You understand? Or I might feel like, wait a second, you've never put in no work a day in your life. I don't know you from anything. But that is the wrong process. I tell everybody right now, that is him down there, making you think that way, all right? And I don't name his name because at the end of the day, everybody has their religious beliefs. But remember, you're not gonna get a positive, basically, answer from someone who never thought of, you know what, let me meet in the middle. Everything is always meeting in the middle. Why? Because you can't be right and I can't be right and be wrong, because that's the balance of life. So at the end of the day, we must find a peace in the middle.
That's a fact.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, he bodied that. He bodied that.
Now, Al, you have an organization where you're bringing the OGs and the youngins together. So this kind of, you know, I think your answer is going to be very, it's going to be something serious.
Can we save lives? Yes, we can save lives. Can we save all of them? Not going to happen. Is it going to take time? Yeah, it's going to take time.
Nothing happens overnight.
Nothing happens overnight. Understand that there's been a division let's talk about division just with people. Once you get a certain age, your kids already feel that, you too old.
Get on the nose.
That's it. You're at that age. Now add that on with technology. Okay, when technology came in, right? Dad, Mom, you know how to use your phone? Hell, why you always telling me to do this and that for your phone? Or the man in the house or the woman in the house when somebody comes in and say, can we just check something? You can check your email. Oh, let me get my son or my daughter. They do that for me. A bigger divide. Now, people don't understand that. But I was president of a school board for 3 years. And in that process, I saw a big division with parents and their kids. So now in hip hop, it's even bigger. But now you got, and I wanna make a statement, drill music. Understand that the labels have to label something in order to sell it. Like when you go to a grocery store, fruits over here, canned goods over here, right? In order to sell it, they have to label it. So they label all our music in order to sell it. And now we become this niche market, whatever. I'm a drill rapper, or I'm an old school rapper, or I'm a this, that, and all that stuff. It's still music.
Musician, yeah.
Exactly.
To bring them all together is a process that I've been working on with pioneers, with new school, and with different rappers that speak in different languages. Para mí, los hispanos y los americanos tienen que estar juntos. Todos nosotros tienen que estar juntos. That's for my Spanish-speaking people. All right?
Pa'lante. Pa'lante,
Now,
that's right.
and I did that on purpose, just to tell you that if I could communicate with you in that language, all right, rappers are doing the same thing.
Correct.
Russian, Japanese, all right, Filipinos, and the audience that they have is immense. When you go and see a Pitbull performance, he's performing to 30, 40, 50,000 people. So there should be a unity between that guy and the Big Daddy Kane and the baby together. And it wouldn't hurt. And see, I said this plenty of times. It wouldn't hurt if Cardi B is performing and said, let me put Grandmaster Cass on to open for me.
Right.
It's not gonna hurt her purse. But it would it would do immense work for Cass. And now if she takes and she goes out of the woodwork and she says, let me get Ty Dre to go and open up for me. And most of you probably look at me, who the hell is Ty Dre? That's the point, to bring out a new artist. Now let's bring Lazarus out, and let me get a Christian hip-hop artist to come out too and open up for me. It doesn't hurt their bottom line. So the message is to them that are already making the money. Why don't you open the doors and let these people open up for you? Doesn't hurt your bottom line, because even if you gave them $5K to perform, that's gonna be $5K that they didn't see. And even if you gave them $5K and they're performing to 30,000, 40,000, 50,000 people, that's 30, 40, 50,000 people that probably never heard of them. And now their possibilities are open. So the only way that we create a change, the only way that this process can work, is that those that are making the money, right, and those that have the name, be able to open their mind, and I'll give you a different, not ego, pride.
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 You know, when you look at the Bible and you think about, this Bible is supposed to be the living word, right? It tells you one thing: pride is a sin, but it tells you also to be prideful. So it's a balance, and the book is all about a balance. So you have to have a balance in the whole process, and I think that they're off balance when they're performing and they're doing that and they're getting so much money and they don't see that where they used to live at, there's still kids suffering. There's still families suffering. There's still rappers doing things that they say, why is this kid doing that? Because you haven't gone back and say, let me pick you up, my brother, my sister. I'm up on the ladder now. Now I can pick you up.
Let me hold you down.
Let me hold you down. Let me do something. All right? So if we all came together, it has to be those that are making with those that are not. The do's and the don'ts. But this is in film too. This is in film. This is in book. This is in the car industry. Do you understand what happened in corporate America? Corporate America said, bam, hip-hop just landed on us. And they capitalized on this thing immediately.
Yep.
And certain individuals didn't understand that to the capacity to understand that you're worth.
Yep.
If you had a picture of Mick Jagger when he was 10 years old, all right, and he was your neighbor, how much is that picture worth today on NFT? Now, Mick Jagger can still perform today. How old is he?
Shit.
Yet they look at our rap, they look at our MCs. You're too old, man. You should cut this out.
Right.
We are too
change
quick to not understand that we demonize our own culture because we're looking at it as we cannot achieve, we cannot do what other people can do. We've done more. They had to go and tell us we can't have the name of their shirts or their hoodies or their hats in our videos no more. It's killing us. It's infringing on our market share. Hip hop is killing it, and we have to have more ownership. We have to have more voice and opinion, and we have to be on the table. I am tired. You know what, Grammys? You used to have people in hip hop to tell you who you should have win awards over at the Grammys and, you know, BET and all this stuff, because you know what? I'm just tired. That's why we did the Hip Hop Boulevard Awards, by the way, because we wanted us to vote for us.
That was beautiful too. Yeah, that was, yeah. I think, like, personally, it starts with us. It gotta have unity. It's gonna start with us having unity. Because like you said, like what Al was saying, you can never get a Cardi B. I don't think it'll never happen with Cardi B, Grandmaster Cash, because you know why? Because, you know, they're gonna tell her, listen, if you don't keep shaking your ass up there, keep poisoning these kids, we're gonna take everything from you.
Right.
So now it's like, okay, you know what? I can't put them on certain platforms. 'Cause I'm like, damn, that'd be dope if Cardi B, Remy Martin, Little Kim.
I would love that.
You know what I mean? But it's always, it's gonna be a divide and conquer at the end of the day. It's always, it's not gonna be, it starts with us here in this room. So we gotta start changing the narrative to that. Like, I wanna do a song with Lazarus. You know what I'm saying? Lonnie Lyrik. So it starts with us at the end of the day. That's my opinion on it.
I feel like also, you know, in my opinion, and King Crooked said this on Math Hoffa's show.
I know you too, yeah.
Longevity needs to be celebrated more.
That's right. Shout out to King Crooked. One of my brothers.
Dope interview too.
Because if longevity is celebrated more, those that have that have longevity could have more of a voice, more power.
He was correct.
You know what I'm saying? So,
I agree.
Right, and then like what Al was saying too, like they gonna capitalize off our, death in the lyrics. They're gonna capitalize off that.
Off our mistakes.
So we need to start taking care of, our ownership.
I hear that.
You know.
Okay, all right, we'll be back in a minute.
Yeah.
There we go. That's why you come with the cue card, that what we know?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Thanks.
That'll be dope. Yeah.
Thanks, y'all.
Thank you. Yeah.
Whew.
You know.
How many more questions on this?
I think it's two.
Three more, all right, cool.
Yeah. This is dope.
You know you gotta ask out.
When I saw the flyer,
Oh, it was like
then I got the legends on there. I saw you on there. I saw Lazarus. Then
Nana.
Lonnie. I saw Lonnie flyer last.
Nana.
I was like, oh,
Mommy,
Oh,
the scooter was out there? Did you check?
Set them up. Need to set them up so we can look proper. Everything's in the car.
That's why I'm telling her that
Videotape.
she out there, because I won't know. I can't get up from here.
No, you don't have to get them. She just needs to go there and just
Go check.
give them, open the doors and set them up.
Facts. No. My man's name is Scooter. Not a literal scooter. Thank you, big bro. If I would have had a literal scooter, you know what I told you that. I got a scooter. He's one of my partners along with us at Hip Hop Boulevard, and I'm just trying to make sure he's set up because he's in a wheelchair.
Then can you please go and get him squared away outside?
He's out there, mommy? Yeah, shut them up.
Big and Mo.
Okay. Scooter's gonna be
How
up
we
there.
doing? How we doing viewership? No, I'm saying on the.
We're asking
Yeah,
on
I'm
the
trying
live
to
on the
share it
YouTube.
again.
We're sharing it. We put it up on
We got it on the
hip-hop.
Hip Hop Boulevard page.
I put it up on my page so that way everybody could start tuning
Yeah.
in. We've been telling them.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, you know the numbers, they be messing with the numbers. Yeah, yeah. You talking some real shit, when you talking that real dick, they want to
Yo,
mess with
sis.
the numbers.
Be loud, baby, be loud.
Yeah, nah, man, you know? You talking some old
Yeah.
BS.
It died while I was speaking of.
Yeah, I'm doing a hip hop
Okay.
healing summit right now.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely need that.
in the streets, excuse me, that's causing a lot of this friction for our younger brothers and sisters out here, man. We got here with the panelists, so we're gonna conclude everything. So we're gonna wrap out and we're gonna make it happen.
So the last question that I have here is, what is your take on rap artists having to check in when they are out of their area?
Wow, great.
To everyone, or just members of an organization, or a crew?
Take it there, brother.
I want to hear y'all take.
Can I start?
Yeah, I'm about to say.
Something that's came up a lot in recent
Times of so much going on. So,
I'm going like the OG song.
Okay, we're gonna
We're gonna pass it.
OGs, all right.
I gotta be an OG though.
I'm great to answer this question right here. So I will explain. All right.
Talk with the Don first, go ahead.
We're gonna start off like this. Let's look at hip hop, right, and society almost like a coalition, right? A coalition, all right.
Keep in mind, we have 10 minutes left.
We have 10 minutes.
So
I'll make it
just
quick as possible.
go ahead.
Just imagine that you're coming to somewhere where you've never been before, and in a region where you might do something that might upset other people within that region without you knowing. I'll state it like that. I like check-ins. I'm gonna explain to you why I like check-ins. Number one, when you were an adolescent and you were young, you checked in with your parents. You checked in when you did things, and you asked for permission before you were able to overstep a boundary. What makes it different when it comes for you from making music, when you're crossing one side of the globe of the planet to a whole other side that you've never been in and don't know anything about the culture of what happened in that area. All right? So the purpose of the check-in is because the person that what we would call an OG or the big homie of that area has the knowledge and respect from everybody within that inner city community. What is wrong with me communicating with that person so that way I can ensure my safety and the safety of everyone around me in that area that I'm coming to visit and that I'm not from?
Okay.
That's how would I explain that the easiest way, within 10 minutes.
Copy that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I'm a little different. I'm a little different animal. You know, I'm not a rapper, a dancer, or nothing like that. I'm gonna look at it like this. So, what are the only genre of music that you want us to do a check-in? And probably because there's been problems and issues with some of the artists, not all of them, just some of them. So, rock and roll don't have no drama. There's no drama over there. There's no drama in heavy metal. There's no drama over there. There's no drama in country. I mean, I think from what I heard, I don't go visit country bars, but I heard like there's a fight there, a bar fight at least, right? So what's up with that? I think that people are nervous. Hip hop is about the community. It's about the emotion, how you feel, all that kind of stuff, and people are nervous, and we're making people nervous.
Right.
You know, but hey, don't look at us as if we're the cause of it. Try to understand why this is happening. Because there's a lot of things happening right now that should make you more nervous. We got people shooting up, you know, kids in schools.
Yeah, talk about this.
So, you know, I think that's a little more important than having a check-in for some hip-hop artists. I'm just saying.
That's it. Brother?
Damn, that's deep. I don't know. Yeah, it's yeah, it's crazy, man. They just need to change that checking in thing. But I agree with Lazarus too a little bit, and I also agree with Brother Al. It's I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It makes you think though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel like more for the young people, it's a little different from the whole purpose of checking in. I don't have a problem checking in if I had to go somewhere as a respect to that neighborhood or that culture. But what I have a problem is if I don't check in, because I might not have that knowledge or understanding of why it's important to check in.
Right.
Now you sending somebody to rob me at the
Right.
you know, at the
Right.
airport and you know, take my life and kidnap my girlfriend, and now y'all on Facebook and social media talking about it. I also don't like the fact that if you want us to check in, it has to be about a competition thing or us checking in, because now it's like, yeah, we here, but we started this. It's not about that. And I feel like that goes for any and all organizations. It doesn't matter what you win or what you rep, because I feel like if I'm from a certain neighborhood, and this is everywhere, if you're from a certain neighborhood, you might have this organization here, but they started here. They're not the real people in the real organizations are not doing that. They're not harming the people that's coming in, not checking in, but they're putting that guidance and knowledge into them to understand why it's important to do that.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't feel like it's a everything thing, like you said. We ain't worried about the people over there in R&B.
Right.
Shantae ain't got to go over there and check in with Mary J. Blige.
Right.
It's all about the culture thing. So I do think it's important to speak on it, being able to, I got to go to LA, we got to go check in, to do it accordingly, but also do it respectfully. And do it in where it's still keeping that unity, because that's what it's about at the end of the day.
Unity.
Check in wisely, but check up when it comes to being on point.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Pop Summit. We got to end this off, but before we do, everybody,
Tell everybody where they can follow you.
plug your organizations, your companies and whatnot. So Lonnie, we'll start with you.
Again,
Follow you and all that.
Again, my name is Lonnie Lyrik. Y'all can follow me at Lyrik Gang. You can follow my clothing line at Unique Influence Apparel _
There you go.
You can also book some videos, get your logos, get your media done,
Right.
get your kids' pictures at Lyrik Visions. And just shout out to GGMG, my whole movement, my whole team.
Jim Diamond, what up?
I mean, a big part of the culture of what we doing, and everybody that's supporting us. Again, it's Lyrik Gang, GGMG. You know,
GGMG Records. Top Don.
Big shout outs, of course, to yours. Shout out to, all the panelists that was here first before I want to shout out myself. Of course, you know me, I'm Lazaris The Top Don. You can follow me on all social media platforms. If not, my website, www.topdonempire.com. If you can't get in contact with me, I always got to, put the threshold, contact my manager, Universal Queen and our management. Just want to give her a big up for all the things that she does, just from hip-hop boulevard, councils, to just being able to put hip-hop summits together, just like this one, and just bringing overall people together. Away from that, Al Pizarro, of course, want to give a big shout out to him for the platform, things that he has done and put me on. And then, of course, to my record label, Top Don Empire, and of course, Get Adam Records, all my family up there, the infamous Amadeus, Lord Sear, Shady 45, and all the things that they have done. Y'all already see what we do, so, I'm going to continue on in the fight that we're going forward.
Here we go.
hiphopboulevard.net. Hip Hop Boulevard, the number 5 on Instagram. Our Facebook group page. We're kind of like all over the place. We are the different narrative. We are talking different. We're walking different. We're acting different. This is my uniform I wear. When you see me in the street, this is what I'm wearing. All right? I'm in everybody's face. Okay, I've been there and I'm here. And I'm going to be in everybody's face continuously until we create a change. Whatever that change is going to be, it's going to be positive. So share this YouTube summit, this hip hop summit. Share it right now. Share it right now. Let people know about it and all that, because the only way this message goes out is you sharing this thing. Don't let it be confined. Blow it up. Hip Hop Boulevard, BLVD.
No.
BLVD. HHB. In the house.
There you go.
Let me tell you something. You want so serious about this? 46 years. We going to create a name, the change of the name of the street. Not for one person, not for me, not for several people, for hip hop, for everybody. So I don't care if you're in St. Louis, I don't care if you're in Mississippi, I don't care if you're in LA. We changed that name of the street for everybody because we never had it. There was never a location where somebody could say, this is where it started, and we're recognized. It became legal, we got recognized and all that, and now everybody's platform is starting. It's building. You have to start from somewhere. Hip Hop Boulevard.
Go.
Right.
That was cool. Cool hurt.
That's right. But the wonderful cool heart, right? There you go.
He's here.
There you go. Cool heart.
Yes, first.
Yeah, Copeland Rock, legendary.
They're ready for him.
Oh, man.
You know who you are, man.
Word.
Nate Top.
Yo, you good? Yeah. Hey, listen, you good? Natficial Fellowmen, you good? Visit my website, wegotworktodo.com. That's wegotworktodo, number 2.com. Follow me on Instagram, Natficial. You can catch me all over NYC, at your local pantry spots, all of that good stuff. On Facebook, Natficial Fellowmen. Shout out to yours for having me and engaging in this conversation. Shout out to Street Corner Resources.
Yours.
So cool. And thank you, Bigg Vegg, and all panelists here. Thank you to my queen, Shaniqua Charles.
That's right. Our sister over here.
That's right.
Change.
I want to be here. All right?
I don't need $8 in here.
You follow me, Bigg Vegg, platform, not just this
Tap
shop.
in yours. Make sure you follow
Yours or on Instagram.
Make sure you tap into the website.
If you tap into the YouTube, yes, I know.
And before we go, I give a big shout out to my brother Lord Lux. Y'all already know.
Oh, Lord, that's it.
My brother.
You can't speak all the time.
Do y'all research? Y'all that don't know.
If I don't know, then y'all better find out.
That's a
Because
fact.
he's something serious.
Yes, he is.
Do we have time to get them on? Or like,
Shout out to Mo Nolly.
you gonna get them on? Okay, all right. So we're gonna get
And then we gotta talk to the
people. They're gonna connect the
wires and whatnot, and then we're gonna get
Peace. Peace and love.
Don't go nowhere.
That's right.
Use as a greeting. because we want to give more insight from other brothers and sisters, especially those that have, you know, basically started. We got the Lush, we got the Queen, who run this whole joint, something serious. Man, it's something serious. So I'm gonna let, first before anything, I'm gonna let everybody introduce themselves so we know who's who. And get popping, because I'm gonna be a gentleman, right?
I love it. No, I love it. I receive it.
It's only right.
So my name is Aisha Sekou, and I'm the CEO and founder of Street Corner Resources. Welcome to the Queendom. This is our space, and I welcome the kings and queens here to it. Our work is to save lives. Our work is to save lives. Our work is to save lives at whatever cost. And so we have about 62 young people working with us, but a community full of young people who we go out and we reach out to in the street because they don't come into places necessarily to get help. We go bring the help to them. And so we have a mobile unit that's parked outside called the Peace Beat. We have a contract with Harlem Hospital where we respond to any brutal beating, stabbing, act of domestic violence. And then we do a lot of community engagement, events like this.
Right.
We share our space, we sponsor, we collaborate as much as we can. The mayor's office told us we do way too much. And that means that that other people need to be able to do more by having more money. So I gotta say, somebody say more money, more money.
More money!
So other people can do the things they want to do in every borough, and that we can continue to have these cross-pollinations and collaboration. So I welcome everybody into the space. I'm always happy to be here. I'm happy to have all of the partners that we have, yours, Brother Lux right here, and everybody else in the community that supports us. Kamita, thank you. Shaniqua, thank you. Nate, thank you. Nate's been with us since the beginning, you know, on our stage, right? So it's just really a blessing because we're actually sitting in my vision, and 10 years before this, we've been here 7 years, so 10 years before the 7, there was no space. We were on a corner with a crate and people laughed. They're not laughing now. We're taking it very serious. We advocate. We go hard body. We out about 24/7. So when most people are asleep and they say, "What are we doing?" We're doing the thing you wouldn't want to do. Sit with a kid with his brains outside his head, or a mother praying that her child lives. So we do this work for real. We outside.
Yeah.
So
On that note, make sure this queen and y'all respect it, okay? Word up.
we're gonna keep this going.
What you know? Good, introduce yourself, brother.
Grace and peace, everybody. I'm Deacon Roland L. Smith, a.k.a. Deacon Bro, my hip-hop title, actually, because, you know, I grew up in hip-hop, so I don't forget where I come from.
There you go.
I'm a deacon.
Hip-hop, baby.
I mean that, you know, I didn't come from hip-hop. So hip-hop did a lot for me, so I'm here to give back in hip-hop wherever I can.
Yeah.
I'm here only because Sister Aisha have us here today at her beautiful, wonderful location.
The queendom. The queendom.
For us. And yours is youth, opportunity, underlining resilient solutions. Right? About organizations, service our kids. You know, that's our main goal in urban communities, through communication, education, and support services. That's what we're here for. That's our mission. So with that being said, I just want to say that I want to thank you, Sister Aisha, for all that you do within our community. And thank you for having us. And
I love that you all are here. It brings a whole added energy.
Yeah.
You know, even to the block, people walking by. So I love it, and I'm grateful to have each and every single spirit that's in this room. Thank you, Jihad, for showing up too.
thank you for lighting the block up for us too. You lit the block up for everybody because it gets bigger every time. So thank you.
We try.
I go by the name of Mo Knowledge.
No knowledge. Knowledge. Talk to her.
No question. I'm a youth, you know what I'm saying, mentor to the youth. And I want to speak on that checking in. You know, I feel like I'm qualified to speak on it. I definitely got OGs from Chicago, California that, you know what I'm saying, represent me and recognize me as a member of the organization I'm a part of. You know, Free Jeff Ford. That's my big brother. You know, he's a political prisoner. You know, Free Larry Hoover as well. He's a political prisoner. And they let them OGs home. So they can bring their message to the youth and things of that nature from New York to Chicago and California. But to check in.
Just introduce
Tell them what you do, what you're about before we get
into that.
you know, let
I'm a
people-
I'm a part of yours. .org. Shout out to my big bro for putting me on. And he saw my my skills, and he saw how you gravitate towards me, things of that nature. And he put me on the train to stay on the train and just push the narrative to uplift and spread love over hate. And that's been my motto. Yeah, that's his motto, love over hate. Shout out to Prophet Nawaju Ali. He talked about love over hate. And I'm a Moorish American Muslim, and that's what we talk about as well, too.
Right.
It's all about love and not hate. You know what I'm saying? So,
I hear.
at the end of the day, shout out to him. You can follow me on Instagram at Mo Knowledge. I'm a videographer, I'm a photographer as well, too. You know what I'm saying? So,
How the money come?
shout out to Bigg Vegg. That's my big brothers, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my brother.
Capture the moments, my brother.
Shout out to the cameraman too, Frank, you know what I'm saying? And all that, you know what I'm saying? So, me and A-Wayne Production as well. Shout out to my queen, my wife.
There you go. Queen is here.
You know what I'm saying? To all the parents that came on, shout out to my brother, Lord Loves.
Lord Loves.
For years, you feel me?
Yeah.
He saw when I started out, you know what I'm saying? For real, but I wanted to speak on the checking in. You know what I'm saying? The last thing I checked, you know what I'm saying? Checking in is all about you checking into a hotel or you checking into an airport. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing I know about privately. You know what I'm saying? For a civilian.
Yeah.
That's what checking in is.
Right.
Now, on the other hand, that only goes for people that's a part of the organization. That don't go for civilians. Civilians don't gotta check in. Civilians that's not part of no organization at all, they only check into hotels or airport.
Right.
But for people that's part of an organization or what the Europeans say a gang, that only goes for them. So all you people out there that talking about, rap artists gotta check in, they don't gotta check in nothing unless they're part of an organization. And if they part of an organization, and I don't gotta say names, y'all know what it is, they part of an organization, then they go to different states and they check in with their guys. And anybody that's an artist and they not part of no gang, no organization, no nothing, they don't gotta check in with nothing. They can check in with whoever they check in when they come to business. You know what I'm saying? But they don't gotta check in with nobody. So all you do is they be trying to talk about, check in this and check in that. Stop clout chasing, man. Because y'all getting people killed. For real. And that's not right. You know what I'm saying? So I gave you the definition. Shout out to my big brother, Prince Warrior. You know what I'm saying? For letting that be heard. You know what I'm saying? Check-in is only for people that's part of the organization. And for civilians, they only can check in with the airports or the hotels or whatever business that they got going on in that state. So, salute.
Yeah, healthy.
That's different.
I'm loaded luck. Yo, that's actually the way for everything we're talking about.
So how you feeling? First of all, thank you for coming and joining us for the Hip Hop Summit.
Yeah.
You as being, in the, I guess in the culture of battle rap, like you're always in the culture, I don't want to call it tension, but choosing words as your weapons, right?
Yes.
So I know that you can speak on what's going on in the streets and how the brothers are out here, unfortunately, killing each other through their words. You know what I mean? So, you as an OG yourself, especially in a lane that use words as weapons.
Right.
You can speak on that. Right?
Yeah. Well, professionally, as far as the climate of battle rap, we take the approach of, I guess, debating with a cadence. But yeah, it's very creative though in the space that we do it in, and ultimately what we're doing is people coming to a point where we're trying to prove a point in terms of who's the better man in that space, but more so to speak on what you're talking about though, what's going on in the community. I think that's the aspect of where it needs to be more love. You know what I mean? And I don't know if that's a real broad space. You know what I mean? Just to say love. Yeah, but no, we were in those spaces before as adolescents. Everybody on the panel, coming up, and I think it's the act of trying to fit in. You look for spaces and different things amidst your peers that validate you.
That's right.
A lot of times. And right now, it's tough, but this is the climate of the culture. It's been that way for a long time. You know what I mean? Yeah, for a long time.
validation.
Yeah, no, always looking for validation. But I'm even talking about,
Looking for a place, a fitting spot.
you know what I mean? And we just,
Want to be.
it's just yeah. And whereas, you know, prospectively, where you look at where your parents are, you know what I mean? It's hard for a child in that space to almost relate. Because they can't follow along the story. Like how did, they don't recognize their parents were their age, you know what I mean? And they had to develop into that. So then they look to the peers because this is where, you know what I mean, we meet. It's a mutuality. The problem that we got is that different things that the kids are into, the messages in them, you know what I mean, has a overall narrative.
That's right.
And the kids are just trying to fit in. So pretty much anything you give them, you know what I mean, we come into the world curious. We want to know we're doing it right, and we look to the elders to know if we're doing it right. You know what I mean, in a lot of cases. So in the space of the craft, like, you know, we like to say, or the arts, you know what I mean, we got a message in there that has been, you got to think about success and what that means to communities that we from. You know what I mean? These spaces get broadcasted to us a lot of times. And then you think about, well, how did they get there in them spaces to where they're successful? And we got a strange game with a lot of propaganda that goes on that a lot of times is pushed, but it's not in our favor. You know what I'm saying? And this has been going on in our community for a long while. And it's crazy because a lot of times I say healthy, you know what I mean? And I look at our situation right now, we're in an unhealthy situation because from the premise though, like a basic essential things I feel is really the remedy to our situation. And you know what I mean? Yeah, because I learned from practice, true practice. My parents showed me things. The other space or the other half of it, I had to find on my own. And I guess I could say the music or rap in its essence saved my life because of my curiosity, wanting to do it, seeing certain dudes from my neighborhood doing it, not knowing all that was into it. But I always tell people this, anything you want in life that's worth having, I know God, he'll hold everything you love in the balance for it. If you pick a thing that you're really into, there's always a science 9 times out of 10 attached to that. And in order for you to experience more out of that in what you choose, it's only you gotta go through the path. So I say my civility came in something that I really wanted to do. I found battle rap. It wasn't even battle rap at first, it was just, I just wanted to rap. I wanted to express myself. You understand me? Hip hop. And creatively expressing myself, when I go into that space with self, and I think this is like a lot of what we're talking about because it's the spaces of learning about self and how it relates to the world and finding your place though within yourself though. Nobody can't tell you that. I mean, we can give you guidelines and point you in certain areas or directions, but
Figure that out yourself on your own path.
yeah. And what this does though is create civility within us though. Creates a certain order. Because what you're chasing has an order to it. Yeah, so a lot of times if you really want to hone in and get into it, you have to learn the order. And learning the order puts order into you. And I think a lot of times this is what's going on. We out here, but we out of order.
Say that.
It's just about alignment. Like you ain't gotta, and this is why I say love.
Love has a vibration. Just
You understand me?
Gives you a feeling and a thought.
But it's an order. In love is an order.
Now, what can we say about these kids that have no type of guidance, like, you know, like you talk about, you know, guidance as far as home or whatnot? What if there's no guidance at home?
There's no father, there's no mother. Mother's working 20 hours a day just to make income for rent.
Right. And if father's not home, or vice versa.
Yeah.
Or there's no big homie, there's no big brother, there's no big sister, right?
Right.
So what do? They turn to the streets, and that might be the wrong path, right? So
But
how can we kind of overcome that situation?
And this is where it goes back to, I try to simplify it. So we have hubs like what Sister Aisha is presenting in the community. You know what I mean? I wonder as far as what the how would you say the layout is in each of these spaces. You know what I mean? I think the Black Panther started
the layout is love.
Yeah, of course.
From the door,
It's love.
right? Even for the kids, and I have to say this, we get young people that never ever been like hugged. Like nobody hugged them, like, yo, miss, not for nothing, not nobody hugs me.
Yeah.
And they come in like that with their hands up, you know, afraid of what that's going to mean, right? And so every time that they show up, I hug them.
Right.
And then I wait, like after 30 days of them showing up, it's not counted, but you know, you pick a time after it's been, you know, a minute, and just don't hug them. And they be like, yo, Miss Aisha, no love for me?
With my hug.
Because why? The spirit needs that. It calls for that. There is a different feeling when somebody walks up on you and they hug you and they embrace you and they mean that. It feels good, right?
Yeah.
And they look for that. They come like this with their chests out, like, I know you're going to hug me.
Right.
And so they say it in a lot of ways, and then they learn that it's okay if they hug each other, even the young brothers. You know, it's all right to go like this, touch his hand, dap him up, you know, and give energy that gives love. If you see him struggling with something, or he got to move a table, help him move the table, help him move the chair. So I think when young people come, they come, not all of them, because I don't want to paint everybody with the same brush. They come with different needs. Even if they come from families. Families are sometimes so overburdened with making the dollar that the family is dysfunctional and don't know that they're dysfunctional.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
They'll think because they both go to work and they pay their rent that they're functional. You're dysfunctional if you are not engaging your children and they have lack of love. All they see you do is come and go and then go to the party and go to this and be with your friends and be on social media and get your eyelashes and your weave done, and you don't have time for them.
Right.
And you basically have them eating at the chicken spot or the Chinese restaurant and they never sit at a table. That's dysfunctional because a family is a unit that comes together at
And
certain
engaged,
points
and engaged,
and so
about the
what
day.
we do here at Street Corner Resources is bring our young people. We had 30 young people outside today. You all didn't know that, but they showed up. Even if we don't have anything like where they could come in, like we couldn't bring them all in here. We just say show up, and they show up. And then, we sat on the stoop, we took pictures, they went to the park, they shot some hoops, and then they
Healthy.
came back. And then they didn't really want to leave, and then I just said, okay, y'all signed out, you leave when you're ready, and they, they just hung out. Why? Because this feels good to them, it feels like home. We have to, around the country, we're seeing kids shoot each other in the head. Headshots are popular. It is like the trophy, not the headshot picture you take, the headshot shooting another young person in the head. When you go back to the hood, that's a big thing. It's like, you won, and we ain't winning like that.
Right.
So how do we get them to see that this kind of headshot, sitting on a panel, being intelligent, going to school, studying something, becoming a master of something, and get a headshot for that in a magazine or whatever. So what I'm saying is, I just want to say it because I'm sorry, I'm full. And because we've been responding to the hospital at least 3 times every night from a Wednesday to sometimes even Sunday, with kids shot, brutally stabbed and beaten, and it's just crazy. So I'm just gonna say, whoever's watching this, wherever you are, whatever you can do, whatever you have, whatever you hold, whatever you wish for, use that, create that, make that, embrace some young people right where you are, and let's make change.
Listen. On this point.
That's it.
Yeah.
But no, God is love.
That's right.
God is love.
Right.
And it also say that if you hate your brother, that you are a murderer. That's in the word. Like you said, we out of order.
We out of
We gotta
order.
get back in order.
And this is a part of that, right
And
here.
men gotta start being men again too. Men gotta get back on track and learn how to love our community.
And women have to let men be men.
Amen.
Let them in to see their children.
I'm gonna say one thing. For the youth that's living at home, it's not a proper home. If you go to school, the youth knows that when it's something that's not proper. You know what I'm saying? But the youth wants that stability.
They
want that stability,
want it.
and they get in ways of dealing with art or sports and things of that nature. And sometimes down the line, through the layers of life, they find that wrong person that's lukewarm. And instead of once they find that person that's lukewarm, they stay away from the hot and cold, responsible people that could guide them towards success. So for the youth that's out here, that's struggling with that type of distraction, stay away from the lukewarm bubblegum people. You know what I'm saying? And be with the hot and cold. This is hot and cold right here. You know what I'm saying? Hot and cold might sound negative, but it's good. You know what I'm saying? How you preserve your food. You put it in the freezer, right?
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I like that.
And how you heat up, and when you want to heat up your food, you heat it up so you can get that nourishment. You think what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? You know, you gotta stay dangerous and you gotta stay away from those lukewarm people because they're gonna put you through mishaps and illusions.
Lead you in a
and
cage.
lead you into the cage. Sister I used to say, cool said, headshots is like popular in the hood. Like,
the trophy.
Is you serious? That's gonna lead you to jail doing 25 years.
Right. That's right.
That's not a reward. That's you just murdered yourself.
That's right.
You had skills and you listened to your man because he couldn't do it, but he know you was gonna do it because you gullible. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, he just basically, you know what I'm saying, lead you down the wrong route and tricked you because he didn't want to do it. And you did it for him, so now he's gonna be successful because he's not gonna write you no letters. He's not gonna send you no commissary. You know, he's gonna forget about you and probably get with your wife, your girl. You understand what I'm saying? And you did a job for him because he couldn't do it. These are the things that people's not gonna let you know. You know what I'm saying? So when I, from a mental health standpoint too, you know what I'm saying, positive and negative, right? From a mental health standpoint, if you got a disease, you positive for it, right? And if you don't got the disease, you're negative for it, right? I'm negative, right? Because I'm hot and cold and I don't got no type of disease. But back in the days, I used to have the disease and I was positive. You get what I'm saying? So for the youth out here, yeah, I gotta stay negative and get away from the positive. Like, what the hell are you talking about? What?
Yeah.
What? Nah. We gotta be away from the negative disease. We gotta be negative. Because the positive, you're gonna have that disease.
Right.
That's an upside down thing I just said. Y'all don't know about it, but trust and believe. Low Lux, he know. You know what I'm saying? He know. So stay hot and cold and never lukewarm and stay dangerous, man.
Yeah. Listen, be healthy.
Be healthy.
Healthy.
Tell us we gotta cut it because we're going over time. But listen, man, make sure you tap in with yours org. Make sure you tap into YouTube. Make sure you tap into what these brothers and sisters is doing. I'm your man Bigg Vegg. Any last words before we cut out?
Words. I just want to thank everybody for coming out. I want to thank everybody for coming out. And one of the questions that was brought up, and real quick, is that Sister Carmita, why we here today is because our Sister Carmita.
That's right.
That trauma situation, that trauma word came up, and trauma is a part of the mental health situation.
That's right.
Too. So I just want to thank God for Sister Carmita.
We love her.
We thank God for you guys. And Sister Aisha, once again, we love you and we appreciate you.
Thank you.
So much.
Keep us in prayer and follow us on the gram, Street Corner Raz. On Facebook, Street Corner Raz. You can tweet and Twitter, Street Corner Raz. And of course, we outside. We don't hide. We're in the neighborhood. You can find us.
Respect the Queen, we out.
Healthy.
This was
I'm busy
excellent.
working.
I didn't hear the whole thing.
Yeah,
We was out there,
yeah.
just dancing.
Y'all was outside.
Outside. We was
Y'all was
outside.
outside.
And the community